Okay, so everybody's been talking about this.
Yeah.
This whole Zach Bryan Brianna chicken fry thing.
It's everywhere you look online.
It's
unavoidable.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I was kind of sucked into
It's juicy.
It is juicy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna deep dive into this today,
Right.
but not for the gossip.
Right.
Like we're not here for that. We're here to kind of look at what this whole thing says about relationships these days. You know, fame breakups.
This is the modern
digital age.
The digital age breakup.
Yeah.
It's laid out for everyone to see.
For everyone to see.
Yeah.
And everybody has thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
So for people who maybe haven't been following this as closely, Zach Bryan,
country music star.
Huge country music star, Grammy winner.
The big up-and-comer.
Up-and-comer. And Brianna LaPaglia.
Yeah.
Brianna Chicken Fry.
Influencer extraordinaire.
Social media influencer.
Big time.
Big time.
Very different world.
Very different worlds coming together.
Yeah, and that's part of the fascination too, right? This wasn't a Hollywood couple.
No.
Where you'd kind of expect this to be played out in the tabloids.
Right, this is like two totally separate spheres of the world.
But it all happened so fast.
That's the thing. It was like
they weren't even...
They were casually dating.
Like a serious item, it seemed like.
And then boom.
Front page news.
Front page news breakup.
I mean, that's the internet for you.
The internet does what the internet does.
Right.
Right? And we saw this coming a mile away.
The second they became a thing, it's like people are just waiting.
Yeah, waiting for the
other shoe to drop.
Waiting for the other shoe to drop. And then, of course, you have the rumor mill going crazy, cheating accusations.
Speculation. The he said, she said.
All this stuff.
And everyone's picking sides.
Yeah, it's high school all over again.
It's high school.
But on a global scale.
On a global scale, yeah. And what's so fascinating to me is I think we can all relate to this.
Oh, absolutely.
On some level.
Maybe not with the millions of followers.
Right, not with the millions of followers.
Or the basic dynamics.
Yeah.
The need to kind of...
To be right.
Yeah, to control the narrative.
To control the narrative when a relationship...
Especially when it ends badly.
Especially when it ends badly.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there.
We've all been there.
In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, so it's like this, this weird...
microcosm of
magnified version of our own lives.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fascinating.
Okay, so you're the relationship expert here.
Oh, I don't know about expert.
Well, you've got the...
I've studied this stuff.
They've studied this stuff, yeah.
I've seen it all. So, from your perspective, what is it about social media that makes it such a...
Well, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
On the one hand, it's like this accelerant. It makes everything move faster. You meet someone online. You
fall in love online.
You fall in love online.
You break up online.
You break up online. It's like the whole cycle is compressed. It's like... And I think the algorithms themselves...
Oh, interesting.
They feed into this. They reward drama.
They reward drama.
They reward clicks.
Clicks, they reward engagement.
Yeah.
And what's more engaging than...
A messy breakup.
A messy public breakup.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like we're almost being pushed towards this.
Yeah. It's like we're...
behavior.
We're playing into the hands of... Of the big tech companies.
With big tech. Yeah. And then on the other side of it, why are we so willing to share?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it's a combination of things.
This is deeply personal stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Why are we putting it out there?
For the world to see.
The whole world to see.
I think part of it is validation.
Okay.
We're looking for
likes,
comments. We want to know.
We want to feel.
That people are on our side.
That people are on our side, yeah.
Especially during a breakup.
Yeah.
It's like we're seeking this kind of...
This external validation.
Yeah, like a jury of our peers.
Yeah.
And then there's this
element.
Control.
Right.
We want to present ourselves...
In a certain light.
In the best possible light.
Yeah.
We want to control the narrative.
We want to be...
We want to be the victim.
The victim, not the...
Not the villain.
Villain, yeah.
And social media gives us this platform to do that.
Which brings us to Zach Bryan's tweet.
Oh, yeah. The infamous...
The infamous tweet.
Mind your business tweet.
Where he's basically like, everybody stay out of this. This is my private life.
Right. But yet at the same time... He's liking all these tweets.
Oh, yeah. The shady tweets about Brianna.
They're throwing shade.
Yeah, the subtweets.
The subtweets. It's what's going on here?
The ultimate mixed message.
It's such a mixed message.
Right. And I think it speaks to the struggle of being a public figure and going through something so private.
So personal.
It's like you want to maintain this persona.
This image?
This image, but you're also...
You're also a human being.
A human being with real feelings.
Going through a breakup.
Yeah.
And he's clearly...
He's hurting.
Hurting.
He's lashing out.
Lashing out. Yeah. It's understandable.
And then you have Brianna.
Yeah.
Who's like, I was blindsided.
Yeah, she felt like it came out of nowhere. And then
drops the NDA bomb.
Oh, yeah, the NDA.
Which just like...
That's when things got really interesting.
That's when things got really interesting.
Because it raises all these questions about power and control and silence.
Like who's silencing who and why? And NDAs are becoming so common now.
Yeah, it's not just
it's not just a Hollywood thing anymore.
It's like filtering down into...
It's like filtering down into...
regular relationships.
Yeah, like regular people.
Yeah.
And it's tricky, right?
It's tricky, yeah.
Because on the one hand...
they can be used to protect people.
Yeah, for legitimate reasons. Like if there's...
Abuse.
Or you know...
Exploitation,
sensitive information.
But on the other hand...
they can be used to control people.
To silence people.
To cover up bad behavior.
To cover up bad behavior.
And so it becomes this question of like...
motives,
right? Like what's the real
reason for this NDA?
Is it protection or is it control?
Yeah, and in this case, it seems like...
backfired. Spectacularly. I mean, the intention was probably to to
quiet things down.
To keep things quiet.
To keep things under wraps.
But it had the opposite effect.
It
just created more drama.
Yeah, it just created more drama.
Speculation. And
ultimately, it hurt both of their images.
Yeah. Because it makes you wonder, like, what are they hiding?
What are they hiding?
They're so desperate
to
keep this quiet.
It
makes you think.
It makes you think, and it's like...
and this is the thing about the internet.
Yeah.
The more you try to control something, the more it spirals out of control.
It's like that Streisand effect.
The Streisand effect.
The more you try to suppress something, the more tension it gets.
Yeah.
And then you have the fans.
Oh, yeah.
Who are like...
they're in the mix. They're part of the drama.
Yeah, and they feel like...
they have a stake in this.
Yeah, they're
personally invested.
They're personally invested.
And to be fair, they kind of are.
Well,
because...
they've been following these...
they've been following their careers.
Yeah.
They've been listening to Zach's music.
They've been
watching Brianna's videos.
They've been engaging with their content.
They feel like they know them.
Yeah, they feel like they know them.
And so when something like this happens,
they feel like
they have a right to weigh in.
They have a right to comment.
They have a right to take sides.
And it's like...
it's this weird parasocial relationship where the lines between...
reality and fantasy.
And fantasy get blurred.
Yeah, it's a strange phenomenon.
It's a strange phenomenon of the digital age.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, like...
what about you?
Have you ever felt that pressure?
To win the breakup.
Oh,
yeah.
Like you have to present this perfect...
this curated version of yourself. Even when you're like dying inside.
Yeah.
It's so tempting. It is tempting.
To kind of like...
to clap back.
Yeah, to show everyone that you're fine.
That you're thriving.
That you're not bothered.
That you've moved on.
That you're the bigger person.
Yeah.
But it's a trap.
It's a trap because...
it's not real.
It's not real, and you're just perpetuating this cycle. This cycle of like...
of performance.
And inauthenticity.
And
And ultimately, it just hurts you more.
It hurts you more, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we were looking at to prepare for this deep dive...
right.
was this great podcast episode from Heart Talk.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah, it's a good one. And they had this whole episode about
privacy.
About privacy and breakups.
Yeah.
And one of their main points was like...
you can't win a breakup online.
You can't win a breakup online.
You just can't.
And it's so true.
It's so true.
Like, the more you try to control the narrative...
yeah.
The more you try to, like...
to spin things in your favor...
yeah.
the more damage you ultimately do.
To yourself.
To yourself, to your reputation.
To your relationships.
To your mental health.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. And it's like a good reminder that...
that real life is happening offline.
Real life is happening offline.
And the internet is...
it's just...
it's a funhouse mirror.
It's a distorted...
it distorts things.
It distorts things, yeah. And so I think the big question that we're left with is like, how do we balance this desire for connection?
We're social creatures.
We're social creatures.
We crave connection.
We crave connection, and we want to be
authentic.
We want to share our lives.
Yeah.
But we also need to protect ourselves.
Especially
during vulnerable times.
Vulnerable times, like a breakup.
Like a breakup.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. There's no easy answer.
There's no easy answer.
But it's something we all have to...
We have to grapple with it.
We have to think about it.
Yeah.
It's the dilemma of our time. So it really is.
The digital age.
The digital age.
Yeah.
Well said.
All right. That's our deep dive on Zach Bryan.
Until the next one.
And Brianna Chicken Fry.
The saga continues.
The saga continues. Who knows what's going to happen next?
We'll be watching.
We'll be watching, that's for sure.